Hello and welcome back for this week's edition of On the River. I'm your host, Joe Morgulek, and I'm excited to be back with you this week as we prepare to cover some interesting topics, which include an update from a St. Clair Methodist Church, a proud accomplishment from members of St. Clair Community College, and more. Without further ado, I'd like to dive into this week's segment by sharing an update from the Michigan CDC. The Michigan Center for Disease Control and Prevention has a recommendation of a strategy to contain the COVID-19 variant, which has updated to account the severity of the Delta variant. As many of you know, the Delta variant is far more contagious and has the ability to affect people who have been vaccinated already. In addition, vaccinated people may not only be able to get the disease, but to spread it as well. Among these changes are recommendations that employees and visitors to indoor facilities, regardless of vaccination status, should wear a mask at all times. It is also recommended that employers adopt a testing strategy for vaccinated employees who have been exposed to COVID-19. It is still considered that outdoor activities pose minimal risk to fully vaccinated people, and that most indoor activities pose a low risk to fully vaccinated people as well, especially in areas with low or moderate transmission. It is also noted that infections happen in only a small portion of people who are fully vaccinated, even with the Delta variant. With that being said, changes have been adopted in businesses, including those in our hometown cities. As the CDC continues to make recommendations, we will continue to navigate this virus as a team and continue working back to normalcy. Next for this week, I want to inform our viewers that the Child Abuse and Neglect Council has once again teamed up with Q Country 107 and Michigan Mutual to host the 27th Annual Community Roof Sit for Kids. The one-week event spans from the 12th of September through the 17th. The event is a major fundraising effort which will include the ascension of DJ Matt Markham to the roof of the Mutual building, where he will remain 24 hours a day for the rest of the week. Matt will talk with local figures and partners, as well as volunteers who will remain on hand to collect donations. The event provides 40% of the budget that allows the community to engage in supporting the works of the council against child abuse and neglect. The event takes place in downtown Port Huron and aims to surpass last year's donation amount of $59,378. I would encourage any of my viewers to go check out this unique event and help to sponsor a very good and important cause. Also in the news for this week, St. Clair County Community College is proud to announce the release of its 63rd edition of the Patterns magazine. Michigan's oldest literary arts publication is aimed at showcasing student writing, talent, and works of art. Patterns was delayed in the 2020 through 2021 school year as a result of COVID-19 restrictions that caused the slowdown or shutdown of so many events. But after a strong effort from organizers and contributors, the magazine was able to return this year. Patterns is said to be an opportunity to celebrate creativity and recognize the unique talents of our next generation of artists, according to Sarah Flatter, the professor of fine arts at the college, who is excited to honor students in their successes while at SC4. For those interested, a digital version of the Patterns magazine, which includes short stories, visual arts, and poetry, can be found on the website at sc4.edu. Next for the week, I would like to inform our viewers that a local church is offering the community an opportunity to personally thank area first responders and federal employees. The report I will be sharing with you has been put out by Dr. John Grenfell, the pastor at the St. Clair First United Methodist Church, who aims to inform community members that on September 12th, first responders and federal employees will be commemorated at the church. The report continues, encouraging any and all community members, regardless of church affiliation or not, to attend the event, which will be held one day after the 20th anniversary of 9/11. First responders and federal employees will be recognized during the service with a brief reception to follow. An opportunity to personally thank these first responders and federal employees will be held before and after the 10:30 a.m. service at the church. That's going to do it for this week's local news. As you know, I like to end my On the River segment by introducing you to one of the many freighters that you may see passing by on our beautiful St. Clair River. This week, I would like to introduce you to the Robert S. Pearson, a river-class bulk freighter built at a cost of $14.1 million by the American Shipbuilding Company. The ship, often referred to by its previous name, the Wolverine, was one of the final 3 ships to sail for the long-standing Ogle Bay Norton Marine Services Company, which phased out its subsidiary Ogle Bay Norton Marine Services Company and removed itself from the marine shipping industry, bringing to a close a long tradition of service on the Great Lakes. Not only did the ship mark the end to a long-standing tradition on the Great Lakes, but it marked the beginning for a new recognizable fleet of ships as well. The ship was the first vessel in the Lower Lakes fleet to have her hull painted in the classic Lower Lakes gray. Nowadays, many famous freighters, including the Saginaw, as well as the Cuyahoga and Ojibwe, can be seen sailing with this signature gray coat. The Pearson sits at 630 feet with a 68-foot boom and the carrying capacity of nearly 20,000 tons at her midsummer draft. She is often seen carrying taconite, coal, or stone. If you happen to see the Pearson passing by on the St. Clair River, I would absolutely encourage you to stop and check it out. That's going to do it for this week's edition of On the River. I thank you all for tuning in and wish you a great week as we expect a fair amount of sunshine and comfortable weather in the mid to high 70s. Once again, I'm your host, Joe Morgulek, and this has been On the River.